Can living on less actually net you more? Let's find out. Hi, my name's Dave. I'm known as the Spiritual Gentleman. And welcome to my daily journey through the Daily Stoic. 366 meditations on wisdom, perseverance, and the art of living by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hasselman. If you enjoy Stoic content, self-improvement, ADHD and recovery, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Today is September 11th. What would less look like? Quote, "Let us get used to dining out without the crowds, to being a slave to fewer slaves, to getting clothes only for the real purpose, and living in more modest quarters." End quote. SENECA on the Tranquility of Mind, 9.3b. The writer Stefan Zweig, known for his Stoic-esque wisdom, was at one point one of the best-selling authors of the world, only to have his life destroyed by the rise of Hitler. It is a sad yet timeless rhythm of history. Politicians run out of office for taking a stand we'd later recognize as courageous. Countless hardworking and prosperous couples have their money stolen by financial crooks. Someone is accused of a crime, but not vindicated until years later. At any moment, we may be toppled from our perch and made to do with less. Less money, less recognition, less access, less resources. Even the lessness that comes with age. Less mobility, less energy, less freedom. But we can prepare for that in some way by familiarizing ourselves with what that might feel like. One way to protect ourselves from the swings of fate and from the emotional vertigo that can result is by living within your means now. So today, we can try to get used to having and surviving on less, so that we're ever forced to have less, it won't be so bad. Yeah, I really relate to this one because, like in my current situation, I'm on less than I have been in a while. Used to have a really large 3-bedroom house, and now I live in the back of a cabin. Used to have a lot more money than I do now, and now I have much less. But I'm able to still make it work, and it's this kind of idea, but I think it goes back to kind of the, I know about maybe 5-10 years ago, minimalism really came into prominence and popularity, and I consider myself a bit of a minimalist, learning how to live less on what I have. My parents were very, very good at that as well. They always lived on less than we needed, right? Like we always, they were really good at saving and planning and not living in excess, living on less and building more experiences. And now that they're later in life, they have much more, right? They don't have less; they actually have more, and yet they still hold to those principles a lot. So recognizing that by understanding what it is, and I think especially in this day and age where credit card debt is so high and you have like influencers on TikTok and Instagram and everything there of like showing these very lavish lifestyles. But what you don't see is on the other end of it of how much debt they have, how much they're a slave to their possessions, how much they're a slave to everything that they own and all these things, and how much the consequence of that. Like, my mom, she was a credit card counselor, and, she used to tell me stories of these people, they're driving, like, all these nice cars, but they're being, like, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, like, and living in, like, trying to have these illusions of what wealth and power and, luxury was, and yet they were constantly miserable, constantly in fear of the debt collectors, constantly in fear of being found out for what they were. They weren't living on their principles. They weren't living with their internal values and needs and wants. They were projecting out. It was all ego. And, not all of them, but most of them, like, had that kind of thing. And I think this is where, the rise of kind of the influencer, particularly those kind of ones of like, oh, I've got the Lambo and I got the private jet and all this, and like, all right, like, what purpose does that serve, right? Like, I don't buy a whole lot of clothes, but when I do buy something, I buy something that has value, a purpose, and a meaning to it. It isn't frivolous. It has a value and a purpose. So it's conscious spending. It's conscious of what I have. I recognize that, like, for many years, a good 8 years, I was 7, 8 years, I was living out, just out of a hiking backpack and another bag, and I was quite happy. I was very happy with less. You can be quite happy with just having your your needs met, right? Like, your needs aren't as grandiose. You don't need that big flat screen television, all these other things. Like, you think about what your truly needs are, and September's about resilience and recognizing that you can have so much more with very little. You can actually gain a lot. It gives you that perspective, so that when I have gotten more, it has helped me to keep me grounded, so I don't like just throw it all away. I have a stronger value to it. And that's the power, is recognizing the value in things, the value of what you do have, which comes down to that gratitude of the recognizing what you have versus what you don't have. It's so easy to look at all the things I don't have, really easy, and it gets me depressed. But I look at what I do have. I've got a good support structure. I have a partner that loves me and cares about me. Her family supports me, helps me out. Like, I have a place, I have a roof over my head. I've got food in my belly. I have a purpose and a mission in life that drives me forward. Yeah, it may not necessarily at the moment, work out financially for me, but I have all the base needs, and life somehow covers it. Like, I was really struggling for how I'm going to cover kind of the rest of September, and because I do balloon modeling, I ended up last minute on Friday night, I got a gig for the weekend, which will now help cover my kind of bills for the rest of the month. And so I was a little worried, but now everything is kind of covered, and now it allows me to kind of continue to grow and build. And I've been reaching out to more people for potential clients. I've been putting myself out there, doing the things that I can that are in my control, and not lamenting about the things that aren't in my control anymore. Not worrying about what the situation is, but looking at my tools of what I have available right in front of me and making that work. And that's where, necessity is the mother of all invention. And it's when we have that hunger and the drive to achieve what we want to achieve. And I'm not saying there isn't anything wrong with being wealthy or having lots of stuff, but having it so that it has purpose and value and meaning. Because in a consumeristic kind of culture that we have now, everyone's telling you to buy these things, buy this, buy that, get this, get that. But if it doesn't offer value to you, deep intrinsic value of a purpose that it serves, then it becomes that like as a little kid, you get the shiny new toy, and after 2 weeks you're done playing with it, and then it just sits there and it just takes up space and it's waste. So recognizing the things that hold value. One of the things I hold to value is doing these videos, putting myself out there. Yeah, I know I missed yesterday, and I'm okay with that. And I recognize that, get back on the horse, continue to go forward, and continue to make it work. And it's by putting in those daily actions, do I get where I want to go? So if you're interested about learning how to have less, but really gain more, this is where my coaching program can help you gain those internal tools so you can see the world in a way and give you that new mind shift and perspective to get more out of life, but not necessarily by having more things, but more perspective, more certainty, more understanding, more empathy, more values, more of a sense of that you can accomplish anything that you want, more of that drive. If that's what you're looking for, then reach out to me for coaching, because I think I can help you. Anyways, that's all I got for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to continue to follow on. You can follow me anywhere at the Spiritual Gentleman. If you're interested in coaching or just want to chat of how I can help you in any way possible, or even for balloon modeling, laughter yoga, things like that, I'm here to help. So anyways, I'll see you tomorrow, and you have a great, if not better, day.